That's right. Hey, no music this afternoon, but we are live right here on Facebook. Hope you're tuning in out there. It is going to be a quick pop-up interview with our representative, Sheri Biggs. And Penny, would you like to sit up and just show them? Come on, don't you want to sit up? No, I don't want to sit up. All right, she doesn't want to sit up right now. But we are going to be interviewing Sheri. You got to stay tuned to the end because Penny has a question for Sheri. But Sheri told me she was out in the woods. Now, what were you out in the woods for, Sheri?
Oh, well, duty calls. So we were out looking at timber and meeting with some of the Green Diamond people and some other conservationists that were looking at the land, and we were having a great day, just things that impact our district. So we were in Newberry County. And
well, that's great. Well, you know, there's a lot of concern about data centers versus conservation. I mean, and our farmland and everything. So was some of this maybe where you were at on this, or?
Well, we did talk about that a little bit, and just the future and moving forward. And as we discussed earlier, there has to be balance with everything. I was at an event, the RIMPAC event, which it brings in over 30 nations. It's a military training exercise. And we were discussing advanced technology and how the future is AI, and we have to get on board. We don't want to be behind China at all, but we have to do things within balance and make sure that we're protecting our land and that we're not building data centers in the middle of communities, but we have to be smart about it. And there are so many new ways the data centers, and there's misconceptions. There's a lot of propaganda that's being pushed by China that delivers false information in our communities that are scare tactics. So we have to know the facts, number one, and then we have to make sure that we're protecting our communities and our district, and that what we're doing is going to impact us positively financially, and that we're moving forward. And why not put South Carolina on the map and make it even better?
Sure. As long as we're not also, though, doing away with our farmland, right?
Oh, absolutely. I think you and I've discussed before my cousin's farm, and they're like fifth generation, and it's so important. And you see the work that they do and how that has changed over the years from their dad and their grandparents, and you want to make sure that we're putting America first. But it is important. To me, it's a national security risk. We have to make sure that our food is safe. And right now, there are concerns with all these different diseases popping up and illnesses. And we want to make sure that our food is safe and nutritious, and that we're growing it right here in the United States.
Absolutely. So, that was a little swerve off because of what you were talking about. But, I think that we really need to talk about that. You actually got one of your own bills through the House, and unanimously. That was huge, wasn't it?
How about that?
Look at the grin on Sheri's face here. Tell me what the Improving Travel for Military Acts does, and why, as someone still serving in the Air National Guard, this mattered personally to you.
Well, usually the squad votes against me, but I was happy to have so much support, and I think it's just common sense. This will allow us to provide not only the service members, but their families, their spouses, and their children assistance navigating through the TSA lines when they are deploying, or maybe they're moving on an assignment or active duty assignment. And it places, all this is going to do is just set up near major military installations for active duty members to help navigate and see if we can just take a little of the burden off of them and just to show our respect and appreciation for their service to our country.
Well, that is great. Were you surprised you were able to get Republicans and Democrats together on that one?
Well, I was happy to have support from everybody. Our military is important to me, but I was a little surprised.
Yeah. So now you're still serving. You're a lieutenant colonel in the Air National Guard?
I am.
Okay.
I am.
And I think, how in the world are you balancing Congress, the district, campaigning, and still fulfilling the Air National Guard, Sheri?
Well, I think sleep is overrated.
Me too.
I guess you can sleep when you're dead. But, you do have to prioritize, and it is something that I enjoy doing, and I've been able to work it out. I attend my drill schedules just as I would if I were not in Congress, and work hard, and sometimes you don't get to take vacations, and your family has to be very supportive and understanding, but it works out for me and my family. So,
well, that's great. And do you think being an active member of the military changes the way you look at decisions in Congress?
Oh, absolutely. Because I think serving in the military makes me more accessible to other members. They confide in me. They see me as a sister, and they have those difficult discussions with me, and I understand their needs. I understand their sacrifices, and I think equipping them with this, not only the skills, but with the equipment that they need to successfully complete the mission is a priority, and I will fight harder than anyone for them in Congress.
Sure. And, since you are a military officer, I'm interested in this from your perspective, not only as a member of Congress, but as someone still serving in the military. Americans keep watching this back and forth with Iran. Strike, don't strike, retaliate, don't escalate. Where do you think this ultimately has to go?
I think sooner rather than later, we're going to have to make some difficult decisions. As I've said numerous times, Iran, you can't negotiate with them. They are liars, they're terrorists, they're evil, evil people, and there's no negotiating. And I think it's not good for our military members, this on-again, off-again war. I think we've given them ample time to do the right thing and make the right choice. The president has made it clear that they cannot have nuclear weapons, and I think they shouldn't have any more time. I think we should move forward with doing what we said we were going to do, and prioritize our military members, and it's costly. I mean, we have to look at the cost of it. So I think we need to finish the job, bring our men and women back home, and continue on.
Yeah, that's a good answer. I think we just do keep going back and forth, and the people are really tired of it.
Well, you can understand as a member, things escalate. There's that adrenaline. They're on top of their game, and then you go from high speed to nothing, and you just can't keep doing that. I mean, it fatigues our troops, and we can't continue like this. There needs to be some guidelines. We thought this was going to be a quick in and out. That's what the president said. That's what we were told, and so we need to finish the job.
Absolutely. So you also, are we asking our military to do more around the world than our current force and equipment can comfortably sustain?
I don't think so. I think we have the absolute best military in the whole world. And when I visit, I just came back from the RIMPAC exercise in the last little bit. I was able to watch the United States, our Navy, the Marines, joint forces, as they interacted with other nations, our allies. And I think we're preparing for China's propaganda and all their games. And I think we are in the best position, along with our allies, to make sure that we're securing our homeland and taking care of the enemy.
Well, I think, didn't you write a letter in June pushing for stronger fighter capacity in 2027?
I did. For years, previous administrations have disregarded our military, not made them a priority, and not given them the equipment, not invested in our military. And now President Trump is trying to do that, but we have to face it. We have aircraft that are aging out, and we have to replace them promptly, and they're aging out quicker than we're replacing them. The president is focused on shipbuilding, and we could go on, but we have to make sure that we are leading not only in our seas and in our air, but in the space arena, to make sure that we keep America first.
So earlier this year, you introduced the National Guard Protective Zone Act, aimed at creating federal protections and penalties for people who harass, intimidate, or interfere with Guard members. What do you think about that? Where did that go?
Well, I think it didn't get as much traction, as we would have liked. I think our view on military members, as well as police officers, our ICE agents, we've seen them have to tolerate unrespectful people, and my colleagues across the aisle would love to abolish ICE. They disrespect and want to defund the police. And this is something that I feel strongly about. I think, number one, they deserve our respect. And when they're in uniform, to be ridiculed and disrespected, spit on, cursed at, whatever, I think there needs to be some boundaries. And I don't think you've heard the last of this, because I will continue to fight for our military and our officers in uniform.
Well, that brings me to another question, because you are becoming quite a national voice out there, Sheri. I see you on TV quite often. And something it seems like has changed since you first ran. You're getting called on by national television and news organizations regularly now for your opinion. What's that been like, Sheri?
Well, as you know, I'd rather be doing the work and not in front of the camera. That has not changed. But I'm here to do my job, and I feel like being the voice not only for the 3rd District, but for South Carolina, and for things that I feel passionate about that impact us directly. I don't mind stepping up, and it's worked out that way, and they keep calling and asking for help. So that just means I either get up early, stay up late, and try to fit those into our schedule, because it's a pretty packed schedule when we're not in session. We're out and about in the district, so sometimes we just do what we have to do.
Absolutely. Well, it does seem you've gotten more comfortable in front of those cameras than you were when you first started, Sheri.
Well, I guess we have come a long way, but it's still not the favorite part of my job.
Yeah. And what about, is Washington what you thought it was going to be?
It's what I thought it would be, and more. It's probably the most challenging job I've ever had in my life. And I've done some pretty out there things, you know, taking care of patients in the back of an aircraft or working in critical care. But some days it's very challenging, but I feel like it's an honor, and I'm grateful for my constituents that put me there. And again, we have the November election coming up, but the primary went well, so.
Right. So it's looking good?
It's looking good.
It's looking good, that's right. So, we have an election tomorrow, actually, a primary coming up.
We do.
And, where are you? We can't have you here without talking about the Senate race. What are you seeing out there? How do you think this primary is shaping up?
Well, I think there's a lot at stake. I was very honored to be a part of Senator Graham's ceremony in Washington and able to attend those events honoring his life, and grateful for that opportunity. But we've just been talking about the military, and when you think about the work over the years and the respect that Senator Graham had across the world, it leaves a little bit of a void. It leaves a lot.
It leaves a big void, doesn't it?
It does. The relationships that he had, and especially when we talk about Israel and how important that is in this day and time. As a Christian, I'm really concerned with this Sharia law and everything that's going on in the United States. I think there are things that we should be talking about, maybe as families, as conservatives, that we try to ignore or push under the rug. But I think Senator Graham is definitely going to leave a void. But there are some good candidates. I have not endorsed any particular candidate. I could probably tell you my top three, but I guess I shouldn't. But I look at those, and my husband and I voted early, and we have been praying about it, and I've had a lot of my friends or family people calling and saying, well, who should I vote for? And basically, I go through the pros and cons. I never tell anybody who to vote for. I think that has to be a personal choice. But I think you have to vote for who best represents what you think is important. And I just hope that everybody will get out and express their values and concerns and vote the best person that represents them. Voter turnout is going to be important to this election. So we'll see how it goes.
So you don't want to tell you who the top three are?
Probably not. Hey, I've got enough enemies. I don't need to make any more today.
I understand. I just thought I'd ask. But I think the other problem is there hasn't really been enough time. 2 weeks is just not enough time to be able to make up, to be able to expose everybody to the people that are running out there.
And one thing I would like to say, I hope that people will take an opportunity to go to some of the forums or get to know the individuals other than on Facebook, because there's so many misconceptions. No, there's so many flat out lies about people. You need to know who you're voting for and what they represent, because people, if they don't have the resume to prove that they're your candidate, they'll try really hard to tear down their opponent, and unfortunately they do that with lies and misconceptions. So people need to take a huge role in getting to know their candidate before they get behind any one particular person.
Right. And I think but that's been my point. 2 weeks and 2 debates, and then they've had some stumps. But it's really difficult to know where the candidates stand on a lot of issues.
Right. And look at their past. I feel like the past is a good prediction of the future.
Yeah.
And
otherwise, history will repeat itself. Yes.
Absolutely. And we have a lot of wolves in sheep's clothing. So know your candidates.
Absolutely. Know your candidates. That's good. And I'm pretty sure we're going to have a runoff. What do you think?
I would anticipate that.
Yeah. So tomorrow, Tuesday, is the date, folks, from 7 to 7. Remember, a lot of your precincts have changed where you're voting because of school being in session. So make sure you check that before you actually head out to vote. So, before we ask that last question, Penny, do you want to ask your question? I don't know. I'm scared now.
I think Penny's taking a nap.
Penny, would you like to ask your question? Well, okay, I will. Penny, can we see you here for just a second? Let's see. There you are. Yes, you're on a camera. Okay, so what's your question, Penny? We'll put it back on Sheri. Congresswoman, I know you have Sig and Roy waiting for you at home. with Congress, the Air National Guard, traveling and campaigning, she wants to know, when you finally walk through the door, what do Sig and Roy do that immediately makes Washington seem a million miles away?
Well,
do they still recognize you?
They absolutely do recognize me. And Sig is always looking for his treats. I don't know if he's happy to see me or just wants a treat. But Remy gives the best kisses. She is a sweetheart, and I look forward to seeing them every time I walk in the door. And Sig's also a big swimmer, so as long as you take him swimming, he's happy. He forgets that you've been gone for a little while, so that's always nice.
Okay, Penny, you got one of them wrong. It's not Roy, it's Remy. And can I ask you one more question?
Okay, Penny.
Which one actually runs the house, Sig or Remy?
They're so opposite. Probably Sig. He's my Dennis the Menace that's into everything. And Remy is just our diva princess that she just wants to be loved on. She thinks she's a lap dog. She's a big lab, though, and she does try to sit in your lap. But I would say Sig tries to run everything, but Remy is our princess.
Remy is the princess. Okay. All right. Well, we wanted to talk about one more thing. Are you satisfied with that answer? Yes. Can I have a snack now? All right. Anyways, you have the Salute to Liberty coming up next Monday evening, correct?
Right. 1 week from today.
All right. So what do you want to tell us there, Sheri Biggs?
Well, it's going to be pretty exciting. So we have Leader Steve Scalise is going to be delivering remarks on Monday. The doors will open at 5:30. We're also expecting Jim Jordan. I think he'll be hanging out with us some. There's going to be good music, and we're going to be highlighting some things that have happened in our district, and just really looking forward to it. You know, that's going to be right in between the results of the primary election and the runoff. So I anticipate that the two individuals, the two candidates that make it to the runoff, will be at our event, since it is one of the largest Republican gatherings in the state. So that may be a good way if you need tickets. SaluteToLiberty.org. Just go online. If you're a first responder or a veteran, you can claim your tickets for just $1. But it's going to be a great event. We have a good lineup. It's going to be filled top to bottom. Good food.
What
good
kind of
music.
food are you going to have? Who's doing the food? Do you know?
Oh yes. We have Sundays that's catering our food this year, and they have excellent home style cooking, and
so it's not going to be just a barbecue. I love it. I love it, right?
No,
yeah.
we don't do barbecue, but we're trying to use different businesses throughout the district to give them an opportunity to showcase their talents, and so we're really excited about it, and I hope everyone can make it. And I know Miss Ann Eller is going to be there.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it very much. And so I know that there's probably going to be a large contingency from right here in Greenwood. And I'm sure Representative John McCravey is going to be there. And
I think so.
Yeah, so it's going to be a good time for everybody to come out. I know last year was your first year, and you were a little concerned about how large the crowd was going to be, but you were busting at the seams. That was really quite a surprise, wasn't it?
Well, the numbers just kept growing, so we just kept expanding the menu and kind of pushing the stage back a little further. We had I think there were 12 or 1,300 people there last year, so we're anticipating at least that many again this year. I know we've already sold more sponsorship tables this year than we had last year at this time.
Well, Sheri Biggs, I remember a day very long time ago when you were just getting started on this role, and it really was a question. And look at you now, girl.
Well, I'm just grateful for the opportunity. I really am. I feel like being out in the district and talking with our constituents and understanding what the needs are of our community. I'm working harder than ever now, and those relationships do matter, and I think it gives me an insight to why I'm doing this job, and just, again, humbled by the opportunity.
Well, Representative Sheri Biggs, I really appreciate you stopping by here after being in the woods to come here to my studio. Is pretty darn nice, Sheri.
Well, at least it's cooler in here.
Well, Sheri Biggs, I want to say thank you so much for joining us here today. Penny and I couldn't be more pleased that you are here with us. Anything else you'd like to say in closing?
Well, I'm just grateful to you and Penny, and y'all are looking very lovely today in your bright, colorful, your colorful outfits. You look great.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Sheri Biggs, thank you so much for coming out today. That's going to do it for us on our Facebook Live. We will be playing this tomorrow afternoon on Meet Me at the Diner. So if you didn't get to watch the whole thing or you just got to watch a piece of it, this is where we will play the whole thing tomorrow afternoon. That, my friends, is going to do it for us. So we're going to drop the curtain. We are going to play some music out here at the end. Bye-bye, Sheri. Thank you again so much.
Thank you.